Hello all you fans of Rando out there, and welcome to this Speed Gaming presentation of the Link to the Past Randomizer Invitational League. It's round 1 of the playoffs, and we've got a game 2 for you this afternoon between the Hyrule Huhnerhorde, featuring the runners Scholzer and Rallen Tenkir. And I was supposed to carry them. Miendiem was supposed to carry us. W. Garrison and Vextifer. We're going to have a little Randomizer on tap. Randomizer was starting boots, the mode of choice, for Miendiem was supposed to carry us as they try to even this series up at 1 game apiece. Now, I am Miendiem, as you may have guessed from the team name joke there, and I'm going to be joined on the call of this afternoon's action by Blue Link. Blue Link, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. It was a whole week ago that we had game 1, right? And here we are with Randomizer, a much more exciting mode, and looking forward to some chaos.
One of those situations where you're trying to schedule across the pond and it was Easter Sunday, so nobody was really available then, and so we've gone from one Saturday to the next, and if Miendiem was supposed to carry us manages to take this game, then I believe they're going to have to play again tomorrow, because playing during the work week is not going to fly for these two teams.
And I believe it would be the first game 3 of these playoffs if your team were to force a game 3.
As I stop and think about it, there have been a lot of sweeps. Now, that would be true for Invitational League. I know that Open League has a Game 3 coming up in the Relegation Chest Boots versus Third Try Blind series.
Oh, that's interesting. So, looks like we've got an early Moon Pearl from Saha on Scholzer's side. I didn't catch what was on Lumberjack. We've also got a sword from Uncle. Or not, well, not Uncle, but the chest here.
The sword here that Vextifer was dashing around with was what caught my attention. Classic, almost vanilla blue guard there. It was just an archery guard instead of a sword guard. Kind of funny. But this is logical Randomizer, so it was entirely possible that Vextifer was going to walk into that room and find something that he didn't have a way to get the key off of yet, like a red Bari or a dead rock, those sorts of things. But in the logical Randomizer, we place the enemies as part of the general placement scheme, and the logic can then account for what you may need to get past that particular room. Vex, considering a bit of a mimic clip there, decides that it's not really something that he's interested in throwing a whole lot of time at. Well, we have Rallen and Garrison here in Blind's hideout. We'll get some goods here, hopefully. The book followed up with a little bit of cash money, and then this rod here in the back is a little more valuable, I think.
Oh, the blue rod. Okay.
One of those things that you would like to have just in case.
Yep, you never know when you're going to get a surprise Trinex.
And there are a few places where you're not allowed to have a surprise Trinex, but by and large you're going to run into most bosses eventually, and you'd rather have the things that you need to take care of them before you start really getting into a situation where clearing out dungeons becomes that possibility, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Ooh, Scholzer being hopped upon by a pokey there in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Oh, this is a a chicken hut, all right.
With a Beamos and a Mimic and a Popo, and I missed the last entry.
That Mimic is surprisingly problematic in a place like that.
Schulzer back for round 2 in here with this pokey.
Oh, that was close. Early blue mail, it looks like, for Garrison. Oh, and I guess Rollin also got that.
The sorts of things that you're certainly not going to turn down in Randomizer.
Alright, well, Schulzer made it past the pokey, and he got a hammer and a bunch of money.
Okay, the hammer's pretty good. There's a bunch of money you're not going to turn down. I like how both Rollin and Garrison opted for those bombs on library. Just go ahead and top back up. You see it. You've already done the screen transition. You may as well.
Nice use of those invincibility frames for Schulzer to get past the roller. I'm sorry, what just happened to that green bomb?
I think Schulzer threw it right through the wall.
Interesting. I don't think I've seen that before. And Ice Rod Cave has our glove. We have Dark World access less than 6 minutes into the seed.
Fancy sub 10 minute Dark World access. Now, it's Randomizer, so you don't necessarily run into a situation where, well, I'm on 3 hearts green mail still and I'm going to run around the Dark World. Well, that may not be any more dangerous than running around the Light World in this, so you're not going to worry about it, probably.
Alright, looks like we have Vitreous in Eastern. Vextiver actually braved those dark rooms in Eastern without a lamp. That can be very scary in this mode.
It looks like he's going to brave the back as well, which
Oh my.
personally I think is a bit of a question mark. Yeah, let's walk right into that Wizrobe. That was one of the 2 enemies on the entire screen that you could see, and you just ate it anyway. Good job, Vex.
Well, if you're gonna die in there, at least die quick and leave.
This is true. Rollin's going to go ahead and get the rest of this Dark World access package that the Huhnerhorde knows about. The milk carton is going to be a little longer to this just because Garrison and Vex have tried to split this up by going west-east from the dam.
Interesting bomb strats. Well, they worked very nicely.
And the Chicken Horde did not go into desert here, so this will be a little new information on Garrison's side, although I expect we're going to see him dipping out of this play relatively quickly once Vex manages the eastern part of South Shore. Small key right in the middle there in the map chest for Garrison, as Rollin has mostly finished picking up Dark World access. Still needs that pearl according to his tracker.
We have mitts in the back of Escape.
Okay. It's a fair enough sort of thing. And Vextiver does now have eyes on the entirety of that Dark World access package for Team Milk Carton. And immediately falls onto an enemy while water walking, and that's going to be the end of that.
Well, that's both items out of Desert.
Yeah, not much to write home about in Desert, was there?
Alright, at least Vex is going to find those mitts before going into the Dark World.
And before Garrison really gets into a position where he has the rest of the care package and starts doing things in the overworld without them, which was the situation that obtained for Scholzer for a little while there, who's now gone and picked up his mitts, because why would you turn them down?
Oh, we're actually going to see Berna here. Really useful.
No sense worrying about whether or not you might get hit by that pokey if you're trying to spin it with your fighter sword. Just turn on the blue cane and make sure the problem goes away. There is always an anti-fairy in this room in Skullwoods, and it is the most obnoxious thing in the entirety of Randomizer. All that work for a map. The full magic refill is probably the more useful of the two things to roll in here.
Yeah, especially with that Berna and not having half magic.
Got chomps and pokies and big yellow spikes all the way down here in this part of the Thieves Town lobby. I did not catch who that boss was, but Shoulder did. We'll see
Yeah,
if
I
he
didn't
goes
either.
to the back. We'll know that it's something he can beat. Since there are a lot of bosses that we still can't beat at the moment. Looks like we're going to see something that Shoulder can beat, because otherwise there's no reason you would be going back here. That Inamizer meta of just not doing the back of Thieves has bit a few teams over the course of both Inamizer Week and the playoffs thus far. But hey, Armos Knight's pretty easy. You can kill those with a sword and some Ice Rod shots. There's Garrison's Moon Pearl in Sahasrar's closet.
Schultz are trying to cool off the red Armos Knight there. But gets it with the final sword slash, and that'll do it. Crystal number 1. Okay, Pendant Pod, Pendant TR. Okay.
One of those dungeons that's kinda long, and you hope not to have to do it, even though there's no guarantee that there is a Trinex in it. So we have both Rollin and Vexed Fur in the Thieves Town play here at the moment. Rollin gets to skip basically everything.
What's kind of unfortunate is having that Master Sword is not a benefit to him. Oh wait, he has Burna. Never mind. But he didn't do it quite right.
You have to wait for them to get into motion, otherwise you get a situation like that where you definitely don't catch all of them.
And we have a hook shot on the Smiths.
That's a nice sort of thing to have, just in case you run into an Argus somewhere. That might be making Mountain a very highly sought-after play for Schulzer here.
Okay, Rollin, you're not gonna lose to the Armos Knights, right?
Vex's not really doing any better. He at least grabbed 3, and he's gonna get a couple of them before the magic runs out. Oh no, he pulled half magic somewhere. He's gonna get all of them, even though he was kind of sloppy about it.
Yeah, he's done first. Wow. I don't remember where that half magic was, but it wasn't particularly hard to find. I'm not sure why the Chicken Horde doesn't have it. Okay, Garrison did it.
Of course, Garrison also went in on less than half of our magic, so he's going to run out slightly before the end, even with half magic. Still, he did it right, and that counts for something. And there were at least 2 pieces of heart and a full heart container in there. I don't know, besides the big key, what the other thing in the front was. Oh, it was the compass. Of course it was, because otherwise how would they ever have checked the boss, aside from face checking it? So there is one item in the back of that Thieves Town that probably everybody last locates at this point.
Probably.
Here's Vex playing the same game with this anti-fairy that Rollin was playing earlier. It's just as bad the second time around.
We did get red mail in the top of Paradox Cave.
Garrison and Rollin doing this lovely mirrorless Smith turn-in.
Oh, Lionel's in Spiral Cave?
Ooh, that's exciting. Don't see those often.
Oh, that's where the sword was. Alright, Ether Tablet. Just a heart container. I guess you wouldn't turn that down if you had the choice.
The runners definitely are starting to get to the point where you would kind of hope the mirror would show up with the amount of health that you've got.
Yep. Oh, we got a vanilla Moldorm at the top of the tower. Okay, Rollins sticking around to do purple chest. Vex is gonna Kern jump to Catfish. Was that powder on Bumper Ledge?
Oh, I missed it.
Flippers and Hera. That's useful. Oh, there's half magic. It was right there in the dam.
That's pretty on the way. Okay. You can't imagine that anyone's going to wind up missing it forever now that you know it's there.
Oh, the single arrow, the one that's going to defeat Ganon in purple chest.
Catfish just a little cash money. Schulzer pulling another crystal down there off of the Moldorm. The boss shuffle thus far in this has really been on the kinder, gentler end of things. We're just running into easy light world bosses in easy places to fight them.
Mm-hmm. Vanilla Quake for TR entry. Hopefully we never have to go in there. And there's our bow. Cape is also nice. Okay, Vextifer is going to be the first one for his team going up the mountain.
Looks like Schulzer's going back up with Escape, probably a Spike Cave play, you think? Maybe just hasn't checked this side at all.
He doesn't have Burna, so Spike Cave could make sense.
He did get the cape out of the Footshot Cave. Let's see if anything interesting comes out of here as Garrison opens up Palace of Darkness.
You know, I just realized something. Garrison doesn't have a bow, so he hasn't fired any arrows. That one arrow is the only arrow he's picked up this entire race, and it came from Purple Chest.
It is.
Samario there on Lake Hylia Island. Chat is saying we would have seen that before. And the camper has a very useful bug net for us. Ooh, a mushroom and a free blue potion in Waterfall Fairy Cave. Vexriver with his red mail just gonna tank some Lionel hits there.
Well, if you're set up to do it, there's not really a whole lot of reason not to. It's not as though the Lionel's going to happily get out of your way.
I like it. There's a whole bunch of guards here in Zoro's domain, and then one crab. Oh, we have a mirror!
Ooh, pay 500 rupees, get a mirror. You take those.
And whatever Schulzer saw here was worth getting. Oh yeah, that's worth getting.
That's in a bit of an unfortunate position for Team Milk Carton because Vextiver tried to water walk and see some of those checks fairly early on and landed on an enemy when he jumped down to activate the water walk, and so didn't see any of those checks.
Hopefully, when Vex has the flippers, he'll be inclined to go back. And Schulzer is going to go to Swamp.
Meanwhile, as you would expect of Palace of Darkness, it looks like Garrison has been finding keys, and some more keys, because why would you not?
That lamp is actually pretty convenient. And Rollin is not going to try to go to the back of Eastern. This first room of Swamp is kind of annoying. Okay, that was some weird bomb physics on Garrison's side. Hey, I think actually we found all 4 bottles now, and both of the Chicken Horde players have 2 different bottles of those 4. Okay, I was wondering what Rollin was doing in Mini Moldum Cave again, but he was setting up a water walk.
It's reasonable if you know where the goods are. You just need to not fall on one of these enemies like Vex did when he was trying to water walk.
We have Mothula in Swamp.
Once again, finding more bosses that are easy to kill where we're finding them. Bit of an inconvenient spark there. Scholzer trying to find a way past, manages to get that bomb diver down off in time. All sorts of nasty things in that narrow little corridor. Scholzer's going to put the hammer to this moth. When the moth doesn't have any spikes to cheat with, it's really pretty easy to deal with.
Yep, it's been said that the real boss is Moth's arena, and we are gonna have to find out what boss is in that arena at some point.
See what Vextifer has on mind, having that cape and those flippers. Scholzer, meanwhile, stopping off for the item on Hyrule Island, that red cane, and now heading direct for Ice Palace.
Yep, he's got Bombos, and he can do Icebreaker. Okay, Vextifer is in the water. That's good for his team.
Going to take a little while for him to land on everything, but Garrison has some checks that have to happen up here on the mountain, a crystal that needs to be collected. You would have to expect that Vextifer is going to know the things about the water checks before Garrison's in any position to need to start doing them. Garrison still has not updated to modern bread bowl technology, still with the old Philippot strats, which are good. They're just not practically foolproof.
Okay,
You never know it from how easy he made that look, though.
Vextifer has decided to go into ice.
Okay, then. I mean, it's a dungeon that he has, unless there's a Trinex down here, the things that he's going to need to be able to beat it.
He and Garrison could be intending to split the remaining checks, I guess, like Garrison could go to Zora. There's Earthquake in ice. The flute was on Floating Island. Rollins the first to get that.
Without that mirror means without that red cane, Vexed, we're going to have to do this dungeon the old-fashioned way, and we've got a bit of a key holder here, but Vex is going to knock that. He knocks into the spikes, do some Buttersword class damage, and solve the problem.
And on Schulzer's side, we see there is a blind as the boss here. Where are all the fun bosses? Like, we have Vitreous and Eastern, but we've got Silvers now. Oh, Moldorm defeats Rowland.
Rollin with the comeback, though. Going to even that series up at a game apiece, but Moldorm is going to choose no moss. As Schulzer takes down Blind there in Ice Palace.
And this is crystal number 4 for him.
Just happily crashing right on through this seed. You're getting better than a crystal every 10 minutes. You feel pretty good about that. Garrison seems to be heading back to Bumper Cave with this cape, so I'm operating under the assumption that something was here that Milk Carton wants.
Oh, it was powder.
Alright. When you don't know where Quake is and you've still got some logical kill rooms ahead of you, that could absolutely have more value than just as a safety.
Yeah, there's so many fun little quirks about this mode. Alright, Roland with that flute is going to go right to the mire area. And it's vanilla ether for mire entry, so you just go back to Hype Cave.
Classic vanilla medallions day. We do have Schulzer diving Pendant Turtle Rock here.
Yep, we are in need of a fire rod still. And, is that it?
Definitely going to need the fire rod. We've seen all of the medallions, so that leaves us in pretty good stead. Yeah, I mean, you certainly wouldn't turn down another sword if you found one, but the fire rod is going to do the things that need doing.
So Garrison is following Vex into ice. I don't quite know what to make of this. Okay, but we're locked out of TR. So TR is actually completely dead now, because if we find that fire rod, we don't need to come back. Oh no, this makes total sense, because Schulzer had to come back here for the flute anyway, so he could check TR on the way. That's sufficient.
And if you happen to find a fire rod in those first couple of checks while you're in there, great. And having not found one, and that being your go mode item, you say, well, we don't ever have to go further in that dungeon. We're not in some weird world where it's a red 20 and a dungeon item over on right side, and you can go all the way to the boss in a dungeon that you might otherwise need a fire rod for. But this really is just a bit unfortunate for Milk Carton, having missed the early days fake flipper stuff and then just kind of choosing not to go to Zora ever for that mirror, the mirror locking out the flute. And it certainly seems like we're going to wind up seeing Fire Rod behind that here at some point.
Yep, there isn't terribly much else. I wonder if Vextiver is going to head right to Zora now.
Get a little fake powder here from Schulzer.
For a sword! Oh, that's nice!
There's Rollin taking care of that moth in Swamp Palace. Put another crystal on the board there for the Huhnerhorde. As Vextiver finally finds that mirror for Milk Carton. Alright.
Vex is turning down silvers?
That's a choice.
I mean, you don't need them, but you know there is a Vitreous you have to fight. Oh, and there's the last sword on Bombo's tablet! Okay,
That's
so
a
I guess...
relatively easy place to get it, but you're probably not ever going to tell your partner that exists if you're on the Chicken Horde.
You know, I'm thinking maybe Vextiver just forgot about the silvers. You pick up the mirror and you're like, okay, well, I can get Samaria, I can get the flute, I can do Swamp. It's a lot to do.
And he's an old sweat in MG runner anyway. He wouldn't know what to do with silvers even if he had them.
Rollin just got Ether, and he's gonna go get his Samaria. And presumably go to Meyer.
Schulzer is going to give back a bit of this time here in Palace of Darkness that Garrison did relatively early on in Dark World.
Vex is down to half a heart and does not have a fairy. Okay, good, good. That is what your red potion is for.
Not necessarily the most ideal Mire 2 in the world with that enemy set, but Growling gets the job done. Garrison grabbing the blue potion and the mushroom, going to see the silvers. We'll see if he gets them after the mirror. We'll see if he gets the mirror at all. The infernal beeping has begun. Ah, yes, Garrison likes his safeties and is going to collect them.
You know, it's not every day you see somebody in Mire holding 4 keys.
No, that is reasonably uncommon. You might see it a little more in a key sanity mode, which this is not. And Shoals are out of pod and into Eastern Palace here.
He's got the lamp, and he's got silvers. He's very well equipped to face Vitreous. Oh, is Vex going back for the silvers?
I think Vex is going back for the silvers. You know you've got a Vidi, you know you've got a Pig. You probably get some use of them in the Gauntlet and maybe 1 or 2 other places, depending on how the bosses are laid out. It would have been a whole lot faster to just get this after the mirror, but I think he can probably still come out of this at least time neutral.
Yeah. Most likely he just forgot, because there's so much you can do as soon as you pick up that mirror. And you're just distracted.
That whole dark keyholder room was a bit of a mess, but Scholzer is on through. And Rollin is trying to navigate in the darkened mire. It looks like he's going to do alright here. That fire bar is just not in a convenient place.
Alright, that is crystal number 5 for Schulzer.
Still keeping up that 1 crystal per 10 minutes pace. It's you feel pretty good if you're looking at GT at an hour 10 or less. That's not too shabby for anything.
Oh, Vanilla Vitreous and our first duplicate boss. Hey, wait, did Rollin not pick up the silvers either?
Those were certainly regular arrows. Ah, and we have Scholzer heading for Dark Cross. Vex says, uh-oh, I'm locked out, let me find my mirror.
The fire red was just there in Dark Cross. So that's go mode for the chicken horde. And Rollin's heading right there.
Dark Cross really is one of those locations where if it wasn't Randomizer, you would expect that somebody probably had that 10 or 15 minutes into this at the latest.
Oh,
But
for sure.
when you don't know what's down there and you don't have the lamp yet, you're just looking at that kind of askance saying, I don't know if I'm going to get there, I don't know if I'm just throwing away 2 minutes and never seeing the item. And so you put it off for a little while.
And yeah, early on that would have been quite the collection of enemies to navigate. Oh, Schulzer. He just pulled out the blue, but not fast enough.
Just Randomizer things, now he gets to go do that terrible Mire 2 again.
Okay, I've never quite seen somebody delete a bomb the way Rollin just did. That was pretty cool. Who knew the statue would be the most dangerous enemy in this room?
Certainly the most dangerous enemy in the Mire entryway.
Oh yeah, that was something to behold.
That was an experience. Now, Vex, having no idea that there's a sword on Bombo's tablet, is just going to snag this sword off of the powder. I don't know that it's really more or less out of the way, and powder is still pretty valuable. It takes a whole lot less time than Quake if you just need to handle a single dead rock somewhere. The larger problem for Team Milk Carton is just they need to find that fire rod, and their opponents have already found it and are in go mode.
Yeah, that unfortunate water walk mishap really ended up costing Vextifer, unfortunately. But with everything else, it just seems like the Chicken Horde was a little bit quicker to get to everything. Oh, Arcus on Moth's Arena always behaves a little funny. And that'll do it. Alright, so Rala needs to do Ice and Eastern, Schulzer needs to finish up here and do Skull Woods. This team really seems to like fighting bosses on half a heart.
They do, don't they? Garrison going to have to loop back around. Well, he's not going to loop back around Big Chest, and well, now he's thinking better of that.
Did he have to leave the super tile to reset the bridge?
He may have. You could be right about that.
I'm no expert, but I know that's the case in Pod at least.
Looks like Vextifer is also in for this Mire play.
Oh, Schulzer remembers there is a sword available here that he probably wants. Oh, and a key. Oh, Garrison ran out of arrows, but that's fine.
Not trying to do the fight on half a heart. You've got the Tempered Sword. It's not too bad, but you would prefer not to have run out of arrows there. Get pretty simultaneous bosses here from the Chicken Horde. That Blind in Ice Palace and the Argus here in Skull Woods.
I think we are going to see 7 crystals before 1 hour for Schulzer. And there it is.
Garrison deciding that that mirror is not going to do him a whole lot of good in the light world after all. He needs to go pick up his dark world access first. Highly likely to be the only runner finishing on Gold Sword today.
Huh, chat has a question I've never actually thought about. Do regular arrows work on Argus? Oh, the answer is no. Okay. Good to know.
The answer is in fact no. Well, technically the answer is yes and no. I'm pretty sure the functional difference is they don't work on the puffs, but do work on the main body.
Oh, interesting. And my understanding is regular arrows do 16 damage and silvers do 100. But I don't know how much HP Argus has. Right, we are going to be into GT on Schulzer's side at 101.35.
Dexter for pulling that crystal out of Misery Mire. We've got Rollin a couple of rooms away from picking up the one in Eastern Palace.
Well, Etrian Odyssey was lovely to listen to, but we're switching over to Rollin's audio now. He's got vanilla music. Unfortunately, Schulzer and Vexfer don't have usable audio today, so we've only got two choices.
Garrison with the nothing particularly interesting out of Pyramid Fairy, now going to be in position though, unless he decides to get this flute out and just leave, which appears... Nope, now he's thought better of that. Only because he wanted to tree pull for some hit points though, so Milk Carton's still going to miss that Fire Rod for a little while.
This is kind of unfortunate. Rollin's stocking up on two blue potions. I guess he's got a red as well.
Given that you can never quite be sure what all you're going to run into on the GT climb and Randomizer, it makes sense to stock up on your safeties before you go.
Yep, we have yet to see a Trinex.
And there may only be one, and it could be in its vanilla dungeon, and since everybody was Fire Rod Go mode, we were never going to see it. That's possible, but it's also possible that there's one hiding out here in GT.
Oh hey, that was the GT Big Key. We completely forgot to do the guessing game. I'm so used to Key Sanity.
There is a lot of key sanity going on in these playoffs, that's for sure. This is the one mode that is different. I'm a little surprised that it's not key sanity Randomizer just to keep all of the other things equal, since every other mode has key sanity attached to it. It's just a question of how much.
I don't know, I kind of like the idea of, well, with this being logical Randomizer, already throwing some wrenches in your logic. I don't know, it seems fine enough without key sanity.
It really does. It was more a comment on how somehow all of the other co-op modes wound up in a very similar vein there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Trying to imagine what ADKDB would look like without key sanity. Probably be kind of boring.
Well, when you don't really shuffle the keys as such, I guess you're just in a situation where maybe you see a few more keys in chests in some dungeons while the items drop off of key holders or pop up from under bots. That doesn't really sound particularly glamorous as a mode, but I don't know.
Oh, well, the milk carton players are both on Vitreous at the same time here. Nice quake there from Schulzer.
And I'll admit I did kind of blink and miss Rollins' mountain climb, but he's in here grabbing this GT big key.
Oh, it's Trinex! No, that's Helma. No, it's Trinex! Oh, I didn't recognize the feat properly. Alright. Are we gonna see Trinex make it off the screen, or is he gonna die first? No, he's dead. Okay.
And he really does just take forever to go away. Vextifer here in front of Escape, going to have an answer for this Mimic now. He tried for about 3 seconds to Mimic clip that fairly early on in the seed and decided that that was not worth the time and trouble.
I must have completely missed that. Yeah, that's a surprise of an enemy to find in this room.
But he is at least in roughly the right place to find Milk Carton what they need. Now, it's unfortunately for them looking like a case of far too little too late.
Now, I really do appreciate, well, okay, Rollin had the mushroom out for a little bit. I did appreciate that. Alright, who are we going to have here? It's Cold Stare. So we did not see a Helma or Lanmose, and we only saw one of the 3 duplicates, and there are still 4 bosses out there.
Roland having a bit of a health adventure here, halfway up the climb, going to burn one of those potions that he bought in advance.
Looks like he also used the red earlier, so he's down to 1 blue, I think. Alright, it is time for Ganon.
Roland saying, you know what, I think that stabby guard is just floating on air because logical randomizer and enemies interacting with the floor of their rooms can be a bit of a suggestion at times. Says, you know what, I've got this fire up, let's just make him go away and move on.
A nice bombos there from Roland, almost as satisfying as using Samaria on the Wizrobes. And Schulzer is into phase 4 here. And is this going to be a triple? Not quite. Oh no! Oh, just off on the timing on that torch by a tiny bit.
Not the kind of thing that ever makes you feel good, but it's the kind of thing that he's going to be able to laugh at after the fact when he realizes that he wasn't in any actual danger from having done so.
Oh, for sure.
But when you're in the middle of the race, now all of a sudden you're just thinking, oh man, and now my opponents are just going to dot done, and we're going to lose. This will be great.
Hopefully the nerves don't get to him. Schulzer's down to 1 heart. He still has a blue potion, which I expect he's going to use. But Rollin is finishing Cold Stare off, going to be done with the GT climb soon. Vextfur's on his way to GT, and Garrison's going to get crystal number 7 shortly.
And that pig really just did not want to slow down.
And that's the double. That'll finish off Ganon. Schulzer is going to finish in first place. And he is going to cross this bridge with an official time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 51 seconds.
Roland, meanwhile, done with Agate 2, going to go drop in on that pig himself.
That's an interesting place to stand. Or, oh, I guess he just wanted the free health refill?
It's
That way he
possible.
doesn't have to burn the blue right away, he can save it. You know, I don't actually mind that. That was pretty quick thinking.
Going with these classic hookshot strats for this particular position. Love to see it.
Oof.
The fire bat to the face after trying to hookshot out of range of those bats. Not so great though. Looks like he's going to get on through cleanly this time and into phase 3. As Vextiver picks up the big key to Ganon's tower.
We're gonna have to ask him about those silvers. And that'll do it.
That is the pig. Yep, that's the pig for Roland Tenkir, and the Hyrule Huhnerhorde is going to take this series in 2-0 fashion.
And Rollin is going to finish with an official time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 38 seconds.
See if our victors are willing to come in here and join us for a bit of an interview, as they're going to be moving on to the second round of the playoffs.
Well,
We
welcome.
are joined.
GG's and congratulations to both of you.
GG.
GG.
Well, we could have played better. I could have played better.
Ah, we both could have played better. My GT felt bad. Some
Otherwise,
things in
the
between
lucky
weren't
was
really better.
not last week in the final in its entirety, but otherwise, my Maya Des, Miller, and Paul Des were funny together. Oh, that felt awful.
Largely, it felt like things were working out for you guys more than they weren't, though. Scholzer, you were really keeping up that nice 1 crystal every about 10 minutes pace, and then you're looking at GT entry just a little north of the hour mark.
Like, the seed felt pretty good. Like we were talking about after you finished that the fire lot could have, you could have had that fire lot in like 20 or like after you get the glove, you just go dark cloth with the key, and then it's only the new meddling when you get mirror, because that's basically you go mode at that point. I don't know how that would have shaped out if you get fire lot early, but without them committing to that play, quite dumb.
And it was interesting because for quite a while it looked like Fire Rod was going to wind up behind the mirror, and Team Milk Carton was very late to that mirror as well, which has caused a lot of their undoing here.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've made sense like both of us just skip flipper checks without after we got the glove, which was an okay play because we didn't have the money, and it kind of worked out in the end that we got a fat and mirror like on the way, so to speak. When I got flippers, I almost immediately went after this after spike came. But sadly the mirror locked nothing, only good items. But yeah, if you for example then have to play Ice Palace without Kane in Randomizer, it really does that.
Well, can we take a moment to appreciate Vextifer hovering the gap for Cold Stare and then using bombos to break the shell, and then just
Yeah,
leaving?
you need to use bombers, otherwise you get stuck in a loop. You cannot walk up the stairs.
Cold Stare, the old hover protection in Randomizer.
There's an invisible barrier, so to speak. Like the shell is where Cold Stare is, and it's again where the block, where the stairs are, where you walk up. If you don't kill Cold Stare, you cannot walk up. It looks kind of stupid. That's why he broke it.
Now with this win, the Huhnerhorde is going to be moving on to the second round of the playoffs. I do not know right off the top of my head what else has been locked in on this side of the bracket, but congratulations on that much. You get to go play more strong opponents. Your reward for victory is you get to face off against somebody else.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that's...
Looks like it'll be Tam's triple potato pouch mayhem.
yes.
Yeah, I think that's all they decided, actually.
Like, it will always be highest seed versus lowest seed, and we're the highest seed on our side, and they're the lowest seed on our side remaining. So that matchup will happen, and at
We have
hopefully
quite victory.
nicer times. All German matchup.
And a little less trying to schedule across a 6 to 8 or 9 hour time gap there. That should be happy times for all involved, I would hope.
Yeah.
You would
we
think
probably have-
so.
I mean, this week we will probably have our games done, at least 2 games done by Friday. Because we already know about some scheduling issues on the other side. Our matches are gonna go by the quickly.
Alright,
Yeah,
let's
they
get our
make the
GG's
new-
in for Vextifer. He is going to finish in 3rd place.
Yeah, I
With-
think the new Randomizer is overrated.
With an official time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 6 seconds. And Garrison is not too far behind. So, Rollin, I think I understand why you skipped the silvers. You had to keep that collection rate under 100, right?
Correct. Now it just was like I didn't have the flippers when I went for the mirror, and like then going back, it just felt like it's so far out of the way.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay, that makes sense.
Like, the thing is, I knew about the flute on the mountain, and I knew about the mirror, and I knew about the flippers on the mountain, and I either have to go grab the flippers, then grab the mirror, and then grab the flute to get silvers, or I just grab the mirror and then grab all the other stuff on the mountain, and don't grab silvers. And I mean, with getting the cape, and especially with the tempered sword then after, like, silvers weren't really that necessary. Bit awkward since I also didn't get the lamp, so I had to do silver cannon on fire rod, but with half magic it's fine, and I had a blue potion that I kept for next game, I guess.
Classic.
Thank God we found Quake on the way with those pesky headlocks on the way to get it.
And Garrison is about to finish off Ganon here. That'll do it. Alright, let's get our GGs in for W. Garrison, who's going to finish with an official time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 15 seconds. GGs to all 4 runners. That was a really exciting race.
GG, look at those guys, they don't fall and die together. They have one above us.
And we've got Vex in the channel. Hey Vex, GG.
Hey, GG's.
GG.
Yeah, we were trying to play kind of quick and just go against places, and we skipped 2 things basically the whole seed, and one of them was the Zora area, and the other one was Dark Cross. So that worked out for us really well.
Hello, GG.
I can see where that can cause problems in this seed.
Yeah, I actually died on my water walk. Not died, I got hit by the stupid rat as soon as I jumped down when I was going to get the mirror. And then we just never did it. I didn't have enough money either, so I probably also could have lost with that. So even if I had made it, I don't know that there was enough money on the way.
Maybe because you see that the bow done, and you're like, silvers, there's one check, I want silvers anyways. Let's just go to Ernie. Would have been one reason to go back there.
Yeah, I mean that also could have been what had happened.
And Vex wanted those silver so badly that he made a special trip.
I did make a special trip. Look, I save and quit. I got so excited I found the mirror. I was like, save and quit. And I was like, damn it, I forgot the silvers. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to go get my ether medallion because I still need it. I'm going to do Swamp, and then I'm going to go do Samaria, and then I'm jumping down and I'm getting the dang silver. So I just like, I made it a special trip later. It wasn't even like right afterwards. I think I'm tortured by some of the seeds that we've played on Fighter Sword until like the end of the seed. And I just didn't want to do Master Sword Ganon. And I was like, no. I'm not gonna do it.
I fake pulled out my Master Sword and got my Temper Sword on my way to defeat Argos in Skywoods. But that worked out quite nicely.
Yeah, we ended up finding the 4th sword on Bombo's tablet.
Yeah, I had that as my tempered. Just decided to not check the Bombo's tablet, so when I went into a swamp after him, we were still looking for the fire rod, so I went over to Bombo's and got my tempered off that.
I actually did.
Still needed to grab Ether and Kane.
I did consider doing Dark Cross like originally, like at the beginning, and I was like, no, never mind with the sword. And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna make it. And after doing it in the dark or in the light, I wouldn't have made it.
I should have stopped going into front of other cars in the early game. I always get blocked by a stupid enemy. And then of course we got power locked in this seat. Like, god damn it! It can't even open the next chest.
It was like the worst place for the Mimic to be too. Like right there, you had to go all the way there to get to him to know that you can't get it. It was Especially worse than like doors whenever you get to the Hyrule Castle enemy, like in Zelda Cell, or like in like a mode where you have to logical randomizer the big key, and it's like a berry, and you're like, wow, I walked all the way to Zelda Cell, and it's a red berry. What do I do?
My favorite part was doing Pyramid Fairy and Pyramid together, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mirror into front of escape, and as soon as I mirrored, I'm like, I have 0 arrows, so I'm not going in, and I left.
Oh.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah, I was about to grab the red bomb when Joseph found the fire rod, so...
Yeah, Garrison, you had arrow issues all game. There was a point where Blue Link commented, Garrison doesn't have a bow yet. And he has 1 arrow from the single arrow that he pulled out of Purple Chest.
Yup.
Like, that's wow.
Yup.
I think I played a different game because the stun press was arrows and I had both boomerangs and the hook shots, so I could stun everything. And like, I had arrows wherever I wanted them.
I don't think I stunned anything.
We didn't check the stun price. That's amazing.
No. I have both boomerangs and the hook shot.
Incredible. Incredible. We're good at this game, didn't you know?
You made playoffs. You have to be good at this game.
I don't know how, but we did.
Well, I mean, we won the division and I'm still not sure if we got this game, so I'm not sure about that.
Oh, I played? Nah, I don't feel good at the game either. Nah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Who do you guys have next?
Tam's Tipper Potato Pouch Mayhem. So, all German matchup this time around.
Hey.
You'll be able to schedule it easier.
Yay! I mean, we have 9 Germans now in the next round. Just so. Oh, I think shouldn't spoil anything. God damn it.
For Miendiem was supposed to carry us. We got a lot farther than even what we were expecting. Like, we just came up from the Open League last year, and the big thing was we didn't want to get relegated, but to make playoffs, even as the last team sneaking in was
with a losing record.
Was really nice. With a losing record. I think the first team with a losing record to make playoffs.
Hey, not many teams will do that, but yeah, I feel like we were looking pretty dominating in the week in the I don't know how to call it, pre-round group phase. But after I watched like our team, it was like we had like the perfect matchup in each week, like, and we got lucky in Kroski, so we got kind of lucky this year.
I mean,
we have 2 losses.
If we're completely honest, the inverted week, like we got 2 wins donated to us. Like, it's not like we won those games or our opponents beat themselves. Like,
it's still got to be good enough to capitalize, though. So, like, you can't take that away from you.
I mean, sure,
you also
I guess.
can't take away Fishbone Room from Maddie.
Rub it in once again.
Look, we have to take something since we don't have anything else.
Look, he didn't lose 2-0, he only lost 2-1. I see how it is.
Yeah, we only lost 2-1. That's it. Well, 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
Oh man, no, it was a good time.
Yeah, League was a lot of fun.
I had fun.
Some mods could be better, but yeah. Oh, the co-op is always fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, then thank you all for commentary, thanks for checking. I think it's time for me to hop out of this one. And yeah, see you guys, or see you on the playing round 2 of the playoffs in a few days. Because we have to schedule quite quickly. Bye bye.
All right, Blue Link, I guess Schulzer's trying to do the sign-off for us, but we probably ought to say a thing or two ourselves before we let this one slip away entirely.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. This was a really fun race and a pleasure to commentate with you again, Miendiem.
Always good fun. Over on SpeedGaming 3, I believe, is where the game ended up, unless they're already done, which they might be because it was Duality, Fendrana Drifters, and Banana Brigade Game 2 going on today. Let's see, what else? That's all for Invitational right now. How about Open? Is Open doing a thing? Open has some games on the schedule for tomorrow that we do not have channels for yet. We have games 2 and 3, if necessary, between the Hyrule Houlihan's and No FF, No French Fries. Those will be cross keys and then Randomizer if necessary. There will be a couple of nightcaps as well. We've got game 2 between Long Shots and Yaps and Naps. That's going to be cross keys. And then, wouldn't you know it, Relegation Chest Boots and Third Try Blind, they're game 3. We've got a decider on our hands on a Sunday night. Both of these games starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, but the RCB Third Try Blind Cross Keys game going to decide who moves on to the next round in that series. So yeah, if you're looking for some more rando, you can swing by the League Discord. We'll have multis for those if we don't wind up getting them on either a SpeedGaming or a Link to the Past League randomizer channel. And with that, yeah, I think that's about it. Blue Link, thank you so much for all of the help. Keep me honest. Vex, Schulzer, Rollin, and Garrison, thank you for putting on a show for everybody. I hope everyone out there was entertained. But for now, it's time to close up shop on this one. Have a great rest of your day or night, whatever it is for you. Come back and see us again sometime.